In football, every season brings new young stars, and even those who didn't initially amaze have progressed over time to become important players for their clubs and national teams. Meanwhile, there are those who simply vanished for some reason, like Romeo Lavia. His story is both funny and sad. After his transfer to Chelsea this summer for £53 million, he immediately got injured and played his first, and so far his last, match only at the end of December. Since then, he hasn't appeared in Chelsea's squad and simply disappeared. Apparently, he has also disappeared from Mauricio Pochettino's radar because I don't understand what's going on with him and why he's not playing. There are a lot of questions for Chelsea's management because there hasn't been an adequate system in the team, and as a result the team is constantly struggling, affecting players, including Romeo Lavia, who has simply vanished. But I'm sure that under the proper gaffer he will shine as he did in Southampton, so waiting for his exit from Chelsea or a new manager at Stamford Bridge that knows how to build a right system for young players like Dortmund have, but even they have hiccups from time to time. Proof of that is Karim Adeyemi and Gio Reyna. Karim Adeyemi, once one of Germany's promising footballers, has practically not played this season. For the past 3 months, he has been recovering from an injury, but even before that, he couldn't manage to complete a single match. Over the past year and a half at Dortmund, he has gone from a promising star to a consistent substitute player on the bench. According to insider information, it's all due to his personal life, and football has ceased to be of primary importance to him. Dortmund has slowly begun to look for ways to get rid of the player, and most likely, due to his character and desire to remain in his comfort zone, he will continue to play in Germany. I hope he will reconsider his views on life, and football will become important to him again because he has immense potential, and it will be sad to see him wasted. Same with Gio Reyna. The 21-year-old was one of Borussia Dortmund's main talents and proved it with his confident and mature play at an early age. However, starting from 2022, his form began to decline due to injuries. This season, Edin Terzic made it clear to the American what he demands from his midfielders, including defensive work. Reyna responded by showing his unwillingness and lack of desire to do so, which led to him spending more time on the bench and appearing less and less on the pitch. Currently, Dortmund has loaned him out to Nottingham Forest, where he has played only 3 games in the Premier League and also does not fit into the club's style of play. He is still young and can change his career for the better, but it will take time and the right club for that, which is a case for Aaron Ramsdale too, because his case is the saddest one yet, at least for me. It seemed like the Englishman was an important and key player for the team in previous seasons, but unexpectedly for many, Arteta preferred David Raya from Brentford over him, even though after their game against Porto it became clear why. But we can see the same analogy as in Manchester City with Joe Hart and Claudio Bravo back in the day. The Englishman performs well on the line, but Arteta needs a goalkeeper who is also good with his feet and can start attacks, which is why he needed Raya, as these are Ramsdale's weaknesses. In terms of level, both goalkeepers are similar, but due to personal preferences, Ramsdale lost his untouchable status at Arsenal. Most likely, Aaron will get tired of this situation and leave the club in the summer. In my opinion, Newcastle would be a logical and ideal option for him, and he is stronger and of better quality than Nick Pope. What do you think? Which club would be ideal for him to continue his career? Leave your opinion in the comments. Since I mentioned Man City, we have to remember Kalvin Phillips. Pep himself said that the transfer of the Englishman was a mistake, and because there was a better selection of players, he wasn't needed that much in the club. But Kalvin still wanted to make it into the team and get minutes under Pep. However, as time passed, he found himself increasingly absent from this possibility. There was no beef between the player and the manager. Simply, Pep couldn't find a place for him, and he was sent on loan to West Ham. So far, we can see that Kalvin's form is lower than expected, and he looks lost when he appears on the pitch, with confidence also being an issue, which is not surprising to be honest, since he mostly warmed the bench at the Etihad Stadium. I hope that in the summer he'll leave City permanently, and I feel like Everton, Luton, or Crystal Palace could be good options for him, but we will see this summer where he ends up. Now we're shifting to the red side of Manchester, where the club made an illogical decision to pay for a player who was soon to become a free agent, and it's Mason Mount's transfer. Many Manchester United fans were expecting Mount's transfer to bring a lot and strengthen their midfield, but to me this transfer initially seemed like a bad idea, and you'll understand why shortly. The expectations, to say the least, have not been met. The Englishman suffers from constant injuries, and the time he has managed to play for the Red Devils has not impressed fans or the coaching staff at all. These factors combined have severely damaged his reputation within the team and his self-confidence. Furthermore, despite Manchester United's turbulence, Bruno Fernandes remains stable and always plays, so it's difficult to imagine that Mason Mount can outcompete the Portuguese in his position. Mason will definitely have to adapt to a new role. The only position where he can benefit the club is as an 8 with his skill set, but at the moment he seems to have vanished from the radar, and £55 million seems to have gone down the drain. Another player whose career unfortunately went downhill for truly sad reasons is Dele Alli. He is a very frequent guest in my videos, but even without him, this list would not be complete. Many already know about his problems, both mentally and physically. Many fans were hoping for his return this season and that he would be able to get into shape and work on his issues with a psychologist and the coaching staff, but despite his desires and the club's wishes, he has only just begun to regain form and train at Goodison Park, but is far from returning to top-level football. According to rumors, Sean Dyche is ready to help him regain his former confidence as a player, but the financial situation at Everton might make it difficult, with the possibility of contract termination. Despite all this and his disappearance from football for almost a year, I hope that he will be able to find himself and revive his career to a more or less adequate level. But whose career is slowly approaching its end is the all-time great Costa Rican Keylor Navas. The 37-year-old is appearing less and less on football radars year after year, and this season practically nothing is heard about him. Donnarumma has definitely taken his place in PSG, and his loan to Nottingham Forest last year was frankly a mistake. Now he sits on the bench in Paris collecting a solid paycheck, but his playing career is slowly coming to a conclusion. Yes, he is 37 years old, but for goalkeepers that is not such a big age. However, it is quite possible that Keylor is starting to think about ending his career, but he could possibly follow in the footsteps of Hugo Lloris and move to play in one of the MLS or Liga MX clubs, where he could continue playing for another year or two for his own pleasure. Physically, for a goalkeeper, he can still play for a few more years for sure. Meanwhile, Serge Gnabry's body is slowly giving up on him. The German has played very rarely this season due to his ongoing health issues. Injuries to his thigh, forearm, or another muscle injury have kept him sidelined. Additionally, he became one of the leaders of a group of players opposing Thomas Tuchel and his stay at Bayern, which also affected his position in the squad. To his delight, he and other members of this group won, and there will be a new head coach at Bayern again. However, due to various factors, he lost his place in the starting lineup to Leroy Sané, who is having a phenomenal season despite the not-so-easy situation within the club. Gnabry still has time to return to the team and prove to the new coach that he can still contribute to the club. Nevertheless, if Leroy Sané continues to play as he is now, then if I were Gnabry, I would probably slowly start looking for a new club where playing would be easier and where there would be slightly less strain on his body, or he could continue to benefit Bayern with his substitute appearances and become their super sub. But the last one on my list has been without football for 9 months already, and I don't know where he will end up since there are no updates from his side or no new information from Fabrizio Romano, and it's none other than David De Gea. The Spanish goalkeeper has been linked to several Saudi and MLS clubs but refused to join them since he wanted to stay in Europe and get a good deal to continue his career. However, it seems like his salary demands were too high, or he simply couldn't find the right club. He simply vanished, only showing glimpses of his training process to keep himself in form just in case a good deal appears. But for some reason, I feel like it's the end of his career because being absent for this long is pretty bad, even for the best goalkeeper in the Premier League in recent years. Thanks for watching. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments on who you think could still revive their careers to a decent level and be in the spotlight. I'd love to read your answers. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and love this game. Also, check out some of my other videos on the channel as you can see on your screen. My name is Ole, and I'll see you next time.